Today we're installing the third of 4 motor mounts on this Chevy Equinox, and this is the V6 version, so a lot of the videos I've seen with the motor mounts have been the 2.4 4-cylinder. If you haven't seen the first or second video, I'll put a link to those in the description. Let me show you which motor mount we're changing today. This is the motor mount we're changing. It goes under the airbox. The tools that you're going to need to change the engine mount on the front passenger side of this vehicle is going to be a 10mm to get the airbox out of the way, 8mm to loosen this clamp, a 15mm and an 18mm to remove the bolts that hold the engine mount to the engine and the engine mount to the chassis. To remove the airbox, I'm going to go ahead and unclip this mass airflow sensor. There's another sensor just on the back side here. And now there are two 10mm bolts right here, and you can see where this sensor is plugged in, and it's just got a push plug here. So you push and pull that out. But first I'm going to loosen the clamp on here with an 8mm. We'll switch over to the 10mm. And I believe we should be able to pull the back of this up, and then it is pushed into a little plug in the front here. I'll show you here in just a second. So this right here was in the core support holding this in place. Well, this will be the easiest one yet. Here you can see the new one and the old one. Now I don't know that there's anything wrong with this one, but I did buy a full set, so I am changing the 4 motor mounts that came with it. Show you what we got going on here. You can see the jack. I've got 2 jack stands under the cross member or the engine cradle, and then you can see a 2x4 on top of the jack. And what that's doing is just putting a little bit of pressure on the engine so that when we take this mount loose, the engine's not going to drop. These top 3 are 15mm, and then these 2 are an 18mm, which this is common on these engine mounts so far. So 3 out of 3 so far have been mounted with these same size bolts. Don't worry, I'll put some nice music on while I'm doing this. Here you can see we got the old one out. You can see where the old one was. Now I am going to have to put timing chains in this, so kind of trying to get a good look at what I'm going to be taking apart when I do that, and how much room I'm going to have, which really looks like there's a fair amount of room, and it might not be a terrible job, but stay tuned for that one. Alright, let's get this new one in. going to finish tightening these up. Okay. Tighten these 18s. Okay. All that's left is to put the air cleaner back in and get everything hooked back up. Remember this tab, it's going to go into the core support. Get the 10mm bolts back in. Plug the mass airflow sensor back in. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. And remember, I've already made videos of the front and the rear engine mount on this same engine. And my next video will be on doing the passenger side, which is, I believe, the transmission mount. So if you are interested in doing that one, stay tuned. And if you have any questions, like I said, put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer what I can.